A massage chair might seem a bit extravagant, especially these days. 8 different settings, adjustable intensity, plus it's heated, and it just feels so good. Yes, a massage chair might seem a bit extravagant, but when it can come with a car, suddenly it seems quite practical. The Volkswagen Tiguan, packed with premium features like available massaging front seats, it only feels extravagant.
In Walmart's Who'Newville, everyone ready their cart. Amazing Black Friday deals are about to start. Online and in the app, such great deals to explore. Everything you love from tech, toys, and more. The days to save and the ones to remember. It's only the 25th to the 30th of November. Set your alarms. Don't miss out. These deals are epic, without a doubt. The Who's are all ready, but are you? Walmart Black Friday deals await. Who knew?
Listen up. If you guys haven't heard of Goldbelly, let me fill you in. Goldbelly ships America's most iconic foods nationwide. Whether it's the one and only Joe's Stone Crab from Miami, legendary steaks from Peter Luger's in New York, or mind-blowing cakes from food icons like Ina Garten or Martha Stewart, Goldbelly's got epic gifts your friends and family will rave about for years. And you can get all of these and more at huge savings and free shipping during Goldbelly's Black Friday sale. So hurry to goldbelly.com and grab these deals while they last.
You can support this podcast at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and this is Crime Writers On. Crime Writers On is the original true crime review podcast that digs into true crime, pop culture, other podcasts. And on this episode, a famous author is pulled into a twisted mind game with her rich, powerful new neighbor, who might be a murderer. Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys star in the Netflix thriller series The Beast in Me. Joining me to get that done and more is true crime author, TV journalist, and host of These Are Their Stories podcast, my husband and the love of my life, Kevin Flynn. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Rebecca.
Also with us, private investigator, certified pet detective, resident cat lady, and author of the Piper Green series of cozy mysteries, Laura Bricker. Hi, Laura.
Hey, Rebecca.
And filling in for the recently emigrated Toby Ball is the host of the award-winning podcast, Wait For It, and Leaving the Theater. And he's the Podcast Academy 2025 Best Podcast Host and one of Apple's favorite podcast hosts. It's Ronald Young Jr. Welcome back, Ronald.
Hello. I'm happy to be here. I love you both. I always am excited to do Crime Writers On. This is now my 4th time doing it. I'm always available if you need me as a substitute host. I love y'all. I love being here. I love this. I wanted to make sure I say all that.
Fun.
Don't delete any of this. Keep it in the show. This is my problem.
All right. And you're slumming with us because you're like such a star in the podcast world now. Like, how has that felt to imagine you yourself and you float outside your body and watch yourself ascend? How has that been for you?
I don't really appreciate it until I think about where I was 5 years ago. And again, I will keep saying this and I will hammer it into the two of you, is that I was in a different apartment sitting in a desk by my window when I first did These Are Their Stories with y'all. And I still feel that same excitement anytime someone asks me to do a podcast with them. So just y'all were first. That's exciting. I don't look at myself as a star. I look as a person that is on the rise. And I believe that we're all coming up together. I believe we have to do this as a community. A rising tide lifts all boats. Don't get me started preaching up in here.
Incredible.
Great.
Incredible.
And we get to talk to Ron in the Crime Writers On after show. So that's a discussion you don't want to miss. You want to join Patreon just to
It's
learn
already
a little more about that.
posted when this show comes out, so you can go and listen to it right now.
Wow, it's like a time machine.
We love having you, but we think that we might actually get Toby back only because we just got comms from him in Spain.
What did it say?
Well, he's made it to Spain. Here are photos from my walk to and from dinner tonight because it's very late there. And it's just a bunch of photos of him some sightseeing, some of the different architecture. And he sends one. He says, here's me in an orange sweater. And A, it's kind of a brown sweater. And B, he is so far away from the camera, he's like 3 fucking pixels. So I don't know.
Toby's never been good with colors, ever.
Yeah. Or photos.
Yeah. I mean, if this is actual proof of life, I don't know. If he got kidnapped and someone took his phone and is covering for him, this could be true.
Wait. You think a kidnapper would go onto our Slack to Slack us fake proof of life photos from Toby. Wouldn't they just text?
I could see it happening.
I also just got his banking information, so they also have that. The kidnapper.
Good.
The Spanish kidnapper.
No me gusta.
God, it's like a ransom demand.
Yes.
Yeah.
No mas kidnapping.
Nope, stop. Both of you stop it. No me gusta. Oh, God.
Vámonos.
Listen, we bothered to learn some Spanish because we knew Toby was moving there. He didn't, but we
he
did.
didn't. No, he spent more time figuring out which shoes he's going to pack.
Yes.
Are we all learning Spanish as a prank? Is that where are we all learning Spanish as a bit, I should say? Like, I would love that because I'll pick up my Duolingo right now and get right back into it. I love it.
Get into it, man.
Get your streak going.
Yeah.
Let that owl know who's boss.
Toby said he could say "Tu gato es elegante." He could ask for a table for 3, and he could ask, "Can I have some orange juice?" And like
Nice.
that was all the Spanish he learned.
Yeah.
So
That's all you
and
need.
as far as he's
And he
concerned,
knows, goal!
yeah. Can you hit pause and either let him in or bring him upstairs?
All right.
Hold on. Our dog is barking right outside the door.
One of my favorite bits of anybody, especially if I'm on FaceTime or recording a podcast or any of that, is when I see them and I look away for half a second. When I look back, they're cuddling an animal. It is one of the most,
Yes.
you just did it earlier, Laura. It is one of the most adorable things about, it's always like, who's this? Oh, you're cuddling a cat. Where did this cat come from? I
That's
always
right.
think it in my head as it happens. Like just now.
To me,
it just happened just
yeah.
now. Just
Don't
this
get
second.
any ideas,
Here's
Rocky.
Briscoe. It just happened. And so like we, this is, by the way, like I make this thing called Something's Off with my friend Mel Barrett. And she has this, we have this dog who sometimes hangs out in the studio with us, but she has this like French bulldog who snores the entire time we're taping.
Yes.
And she's newer to podcasting. So she was initially, when we were taping together, like a little self-conscious. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no. You don't understand. That dog is going to make us famous. Like
Correct.
that dog is going to be the reason if we make a YouTube show that people fucking watch that show. So
Correct.
you let that dog snore, you bring it out, you show it to the camera, you do all of those things.
Rocky, say hello then. Rocky Flintstone.
Oh my
is gonna make
God.
us
Oh.
famous.
The purring.
My goodness.
He's really happy.
He
He's
is.
Rocky Flintstone.
I love cats. If
So
I weren't
my
allergic,
cat wrote a porno.
I'd be a cat person.
So Kevin,
Yeah.
what are we talking about on future editions of Crime Writers On?
Well, on Monday, we're going to be welcoming our next guest host, and that's Janet Varney from
Yay!
JV Club.
Yeah,
I love her.
Yeah.
Can you tell
Yeah,
her I
she's
said
great.
hi? Like seriously, say Ronald said hello.
absolutely.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we will.
I could
mean,
just
she
text her
listens
that.
to the podcast, so she just heard that. So.
I love her.
And we are ready to get into the horrible red wigs that are part of Murdoch, Death in the Family on Hulu.
All right, so I just going to tip my hand a little bit. That show is real bad, and I fucking love it. Like, I'm loving it. It's right in my lane of things that are bad that I also love. Like, it's right in that lane. Anyway, all right, so should we talk about the thing we're supposed to be talking about, Kevin?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, leading off.
I did not see this coming. National treasure? Agatha Wiggs? What's the expression? Don't meet your heroes? Well, I guess we all have bills to pay, huh?
Yeah, all due respect, you don't know anything about me.
Well, I know print media isn't exactly booming, and you haven't published anything since your little boy died. That can't be easy.
Don't mention my son.
Author Aggie Wiggs finds herself at odds with her new neighbor, wealthy property developer Nile Jarvis, who's been living under suspicion since the disappearance of his first wife. But when the man who killed Aggie's son in a drunk driving accident also vanishes, she wonders if Jarvis had a hand in it.
Fennig's mother was telling the police he was not suicidal. And then I saw him again, Niall. And he brought up Fennig. And the way he was talking, I swear, it's like he wanted me to thank him.
Desperate for cash and encouraged by Jarvis, Aggie agrees to write about him. As he gives her more access into his life, Aggie is drawn into her mercurial subject's mind games and fears what he is actually capable of.
It looks to me like you're not putting up much of a fight.
It's not that simple.
Why is that?
Why? Because I killed my wife. I mean, that's what everyone thinks, right? Enough people say it. It must be true.
Did you kill her?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys star in the Netflix series The Beast in Me. The thriller features a cat and mouse game between the famous author and the infamous real estate scion. Aggie struggles with personal demons, her uneasy relationship with her rich neighbor, and whether the truths of the past could destroy them both. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about plot points from The Beast in Me. So if you want to remain spoiler-free, go to the estimated time code in our show notes for our thumbs up or thumbs down reviews. Now, Ronald, when I saw the initial preview for this show, I could not be more excited. The only way I would have been more excited would be like if Mark Ruffalo and Kerry Russell were also in this. I love Claire Danes. I love Matthew Rhys. What do you think of them? And what do you think of their performances in this show?
There's a phrase that I say on leaving the theater when I think that the actors are doing a great job regardless of what else is happening, regardless of direction, regardless of writing, regardless of set design. And that phrase is the actors clocked in. They clocked into work. And these two clocked into work. I mean, the chemistry between the two of them had me at times watching this and saying, you know, I think that the writing might be failing the show a little bit, and even the sequencing might be failing the show a little bit, but I would watch a whole series of them solving mysteries together. I'd watch a procedural of them I'd watch a Law and Order with these two as the detectives. I would watch it as them going back and forth. Even if one was a detective and the other one's the DA, I'd watch that.
Yeah, well, I think it's a story that could offer hope.
No one wants hope. You know that. People want gossip and carnage. You want another bestseller, you should write about me. Why is that funny? I'm pretty fucking interesting. And I got stories, believe me. People think they know, they don't.
That part of it, them acting, perfect. They did a great job there. And that could be enough to trick you into thinking that this is a better show than it is. And I think that's where I am right now.
Yeah. Laura, what are your thoughts?
I'm in the same spot. I said these performances were amazing, but I think that the characters, the way they were written, were a bit cliche. And if it was anybody but Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys, I don't think this show would have been half as good as it was.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the lonely, tormented writer, and she's got her one-hit wonder, and she's trying to come up with something new and interesting, and she's writing the most fucking boring book in the world about these dead judges.
I love that.
And then you've got this wealthy guy hiding out in the country when he's been tormented with his wife's death. And then you've got the tortured FBI agent who's got a substance abuse problem, who's banging his boss. It's like you've got all of these people, but then you've got Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys. They make this show.
Yeah. Can I say one other thing just real quick? And I know you're going to ask questions, but one other thing that I want to know is, Laura, everything that you just said about the different storylines for the FBI agent and all that, I think that is a product of television today, in that there's less television being made. So now, they used to write television where it would go from the top down, script down, right? And the characters would be as part of the plot, and you go down and you read it to the end, and then it's over. And maybe one person steals a scene and they get a spinoff. Now they write these shows like in a circle where it goes outward, where everybody has a backstory that is somehow written into the show. And there's stuff that I'm hearing about people that I feel like, what does this have to do with anything? Why am I spending this much time with this character in particular? And I think this show has a lot of character development rabbit holes that I don't think was necessary.
I agree with you. And I saw a great piece today that I also agree with, that there's a new thing in TV that's happening in every show where the penultimate episode is a flashback episode.
Correct.
And it's like, we don't need to go back in time. Like, that's not a storytelling device that we need. We could just have it develop in real time and get the subtext and exposition. But I just want to say briefly, and I'm going to go to you, Kevin, I promise. I love these two actors so much. They're literally in like all my favorite media. The Americans, everyone knows, is my favorite television show of all time. Matthew Rhys in particular, I mean, Claire Danes is like electric and everything. She can cry like nobody's fucking business. She can be unhappy like no one else. I've never seen him play someone as villainous as this. Philip on The Americans is like a hero, but also a villain, and it's very nuanced. Here he's like, he acts with his teeth in this. Like he bares his teeth when he's talking, and he is just electric.
I read it when it first came out. It was sensational. What was this, 2018? That's a long time with no follow-up. Something new in the works?
Look, Mr. Jarvis.
Nile, please. I mean, look, frankly, it must be hell. Sitting at home all day in your little mind palace. My hat's off to you. I got to be out in the world, otherwise I wither.
What did you think, Kevin, about these performances?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these are two great actors and great parts. I mean, I actually think they are given a lot of good material to work with, and that creates some great set pieces here. I think that restaurant scene is incredible.
Yes.
I think it's a masterclass in both acting, but also writing that maximizes the tension. There's like a bit of menace to the entire thing.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're
I'm what? Come on. Miss Pulitzer, use your words.
kind of an asshole.
I should hang out with more dykes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You're really not afraid of me.
Should I be?
Well, I don't know. It depends what you read. Most people are just walking on eggshells and kissing my ass, telling me what I want to hear.
Oh, that must be hard.
I will also say you're right. Nobody can ugly cry like Claire Danes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And she's always on the verge, right, of waterworks. She doesn't overdo it.
All the way back to My So-Called Life. She's good at it, man.
She's absolutely great at it. And, maybe Rebecca says she sighs a lot. And I'm okay, fine. I don't know if that's the worst thing about
direction, not acting.
character development. But you're right. Matthew Rhys is just fucking delicious in this role. Like, I wonder if the bad dye job is intentional and character driven. I'm like, did he dye his hair like that on purpose with his just like jet black and no shine to it? It's really weird. And right, we're like talking about, does he have new teeth?
I think they're just whiter for this, or they up the contrast on the
could be, but like it's his smile that's sharp and wolf-like.
Yes,
and that's what that is. And you're right, it's these little things. And so I just think like the tension is almost nonstop in a great way. It's very David Fincher and Christopher Nolan. Rebecca, you called it Hitchcockian while we're watching it.
The soundtrack too,
and, yeah, and I thought that it was actually pretty well structured. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of series that have enough juice to make all 8 episodes solid, and I think that's probably why, if your taste is not to go so deep into the ancillary characters, those are the things that make a 5-episode series, an 8-episode series. But to me, it didn't feel like any of those episodes were filler. I did like the penultimate episode, which was a flashback, because it resolved a lot of the mystery, and I think that was the way to do it. And you're like, why is this? Who is that? And you're like, I get it now. But I liked it.
This is like the second week in a row where we've reviewed something where it's exactly what you thought happened is what happened. Like, it's like, right, Ronald?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, okay, we did like just dunk on the penultimate being a flashback, but I will say when I saw this, I remember I rolled my eyes, and then by the end of it, I was like, that actually, they did that right. Because in terms of sequential order, there was stuff that they dropped throughout the series that made sense, that they were like, okay, here's the rest of the story. And had it been done sequentially, then the only setup would have gone from episode 6 they would have had to go immediately to the wrap up, which would have also been fine. But if you're going to throw some pizzazz on it, it feels like it kind of worked in that regard. But they're doing the thing for attention, because again, this is another show that starts with a billboard at the beginning, which is Claire Danes covered in blood. Oh no, what happened? And later, when we find out exactly what we are seeing, I remember thinking, was this something that needed to be done in that way, or could they have just started the story? Because I was captivated in that first episode. So I don't know. It feels like some of it is just formulaic in terms of sequencing that I don't know is entirely necessary, but was well done for the most part.
Laura Bricker, you revealed before we started taping this episode that you are having rotisserie chicken for dinner tonight. Will you be standing at the counter eating the whole thing in one sitting and disassembling it and just sucking the meat off the bones?
I was like, how can Matthew Rhys make eating food so terrifying and so brilliant all at once? That scene, he just tears into this chicken with bare hands. He's just like, it's like he's like an animal, like a wolf or something. And then he throws it, scraps down to the dogs.
Even the Colonel blushed.
Oh yeah, it was really something. And it kind of foreshadows those dogs. Like, it's like, he's
Chekhov's dogs, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's the predator. And then later we see one of the dogs and we're like, is it going to chomp that FBI guy? I don't know. The only one chomping in this was Matthew Rhys.
Yeah.
That was like one of the scenes where I was like, and what you were saying before, Kevin, where like with the teeth, I mean, it's like, you have the teeth and he's ripping things apart. And the other thing I really noticed about him in this, and I don't know if it was something they did with the cinematography, his eyes when he would kill somebody would get so dark.
Yeah.
Like they would get almost black when he was killing somebody.
Yeah.
It was like his whole face would change in a way that was just really well done and terrifying. Because once you're beating the shit, like when you're beating somebody to death like that with your bare hands, like you're an animal. You're outside of yourself when you reach that level.
Yeah.
I like the touch though, like where there's the beating and there's like the digitally added blood spatter on the lens
Yes.
You know what I'm talking like, oh, wow, that must have been so
It even
bloody.
got in my eye.
It even got in my eye. It
Even got in my eye.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay, two things. One, I had to look this up. John Noble played a character called Denethor in The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. And not since I watched him eat chicken and food with his bare hands have I ever seen anyone be that menacing. That's immediately what I thought about. Those people that know Lord of the Rings will know exactly the scene that I'm talking about. And it's wild because one of the hobbits is singing a song and he's loudly eating his food with his hands. It's wild. But that being said, I also feel like, speaking of the way that he kills people, there's a death in here that for me was probably, it really impacted me in a way that I had like a reaction to it where I was like, oh, and I was saying, oh, when he kills his wife and they they put our face in it a little bit. Granted, they didn't do a close up like Eli Roth style, but like he basically beat her face off. And I had such, I think that was one of the times where I felt like maybe 12 or 14-year-old Ronald came out and was like, oh, they make movies like this. Like, why would they? Why are you doing this to me? Because I remember at the time being like, that poor woman, she didn't do anything wrong. And now she got the snot beat out of her. And I don't ever feel like this show ever got the comeuppance for her, especially being beat to death in that way. And the way he's like yelling, like, you made me do this, which again, applause to the performance of Matthew Rhys. But it felt a little gratuitous for me, for Ronald. And I would warn people about that before watching this.
One thing I will say is I felt like the dogs were so fucking terrifying. 2 Malinois dogs that I had to look up I hit pause and I Googled, do any dogs die in this show? Because I need to know. I need to know if any dogs die. That is a thing I need to know in advance. I need to know when it's going to happen so I can leave the fucking room when it happens. I was so worried about Steven the whole time. Steve the dog the whole time that he's going to get eaten by these dogs. And then the note was, you know, the AI note at the top of Google was like, no dogs die, but one does get punched in the face. And I was like, Kevin, there's going to be a dog punched in the face. And he's like, I'm here for that. Anyway, what were you going to say, Kevin?
Yeah, I agree with you on the dogs and Steve, like, we certainly like being eaten by the guard dogs. There's a lot of symbolism, and I'll just throw that one out there. Steve, the little dog, is Aggie, and the 2 menacing dogs, you know, Niles and his whole thing. But as far as the death scene of his first wife, let me throw out, Ronald, a artistic thought experiment. Would this have been the same if after all this you get to episode 7 and you realize the way that he killed her was he pushed her and she slipped on a ice cube and fell and cracked her head open?
Stupid accident, yeah.
As opposed to building to a super dramatic, above the top, yes, violent, but, you know, it's a murder mystery thing. You know, you might as well go for it. What do you think? Do you think maybe they went the right way with that? I mean, it gave you a visceral reaction.
Okay, so this might be kind of a long answer, but I think that it's the way the murder happens is effective because the show is purporting this is when his father and uncle realize that he's a monster. That's when they realize that this person is out of control. To use the victim in that way feels at least a little bit problematic because in that point as the viewer, I also realized, oh, so I'm just watching a show about a serial killer. This is not just like some rich guy who just wants to get what he wants. He is a serial killer, which for me split it in 2 directions in my mind, especially being that she was not his first kill. If you're not going to show me his first kill and when he gets this bloodlust that then builds into this something that happens where he's like now saying that Aggie has a bloodlust, if you're not going to give me that whole story, you're only going to give me the start of this, then maybe this doesn't need to be the part where we realize he's a monster. Maybe he does just like he shoots her or she does fall off a building. He drops off a building or something like that. But I feel like the only other time I could say I had this type of visceral reaction, especially to a killing of a woman, is Mr. Robot, where Tyrell Wellick chokes a woman to death on a roof. And I remember watching it and being like, oh, this is really, I don't know why this is stressing me out this way, but I don't want to have to watch this. I don't know what story you're telling me when you do it this way. So yes, I mean, shorter answer, Kevin, yes, maybe it would have made a difference, but there's something about me that, and maybe it's my mom, there's something in me that's just like, oh, no, don't do, we know she's dead. We get it. She's dead. Why did this have to happen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, right, because we build the tension and there's got to be a payoff. Just like when you join us on Patreon, you'll get paid off with exclusive content.
That's right. So much content.
So much great content.
Business section. Ronald, did you do this in your podcast? Do you suddenly just
I do it in the
switch
credits,
modes?
but this is amazing. I might start doing it this way. Just
Right in the
mess
middle.
with people.
Right in the middle. And when we offered our ad-free version, we cut out this part and people were like, no, we like that part. Put it back in.
Put it back in. Believe it.
And I'm like, you're already on the Patreon. What are we selling you?
Yes.
Yeah, they just
Anyway.
want it. They just want this
Love
crazy
you, ad-free
content.
people.
And they go there at patreon.com/partners in crime media for exclusive content, including the Crime Writers on After Show, Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club podcast, Married with Podcast, our advice podcast, and Rebecca's weekly Something's Off with Mel Barrett. Also, get Laura Bricker's Leave It to Bricker podcast, where she solves mysteries, or at least mysteries to her,
Everything's a
in her
mystery to
quaint
Laura
AF
Bricker.
town of Exeter, New Hampshire. Also, if you're a deep diver, you get to join in and watch the recording of Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club and become an official sponsor. Remember, you can listen to the first 3 minutes of all of these episodes for free.
Ooh, it's not
Just
always
go-
the first 3. Sometimes I move that little thing to the
Oh,
middle.
okay. Well, you'll get a nice 3-minute preview if you just want to check it out, and you can also join for free for 7 days. Give us a test drive. Do you know that we have, Ronald, more than 925 podcast episodes behind our paywall on Patreon?
That is, wow. I really wanted to respond and be like, hey, that's
That's
nice.
great.
Yes.
Oh. Deep cut. Okay.
It's not that deep. You
no,
do that
it's
to
not
me
deep.
all the fucking
All
time.
the time on these other stories.
Week.
Yeah. Yes. So we have an Amazon storefront, too, where you can support us by checking out some of our favorite things. Time for Christmas and Black Friday and all those wonderful times to go shopping. Rebecca, can you tell us, what are this week's Amazon recommendations?
Well, Kevin, I'm bringing back last week's recommendations. I got him, and they're awesome. Is the finger nuts.
The finger nuts.
Yes. No.
Yes.
So, Ronald,
Yeah.
I my rings were too big for me, so I was gonna I don't even know how the finger nuts thing happened, but
Toby called them finger nuts.
yeah, oh yeah, because I was I got these things to put on it to make it tighter, and he's like, oh, like a nut, like a finger nut. Yeah. So finger nuts, they really work, and I will go ahead and make sure there's a link on our page.
I love the way y'all flow in and out of it so easily.
Yeah,
I am impressed.
Ronald, we've
and
been doing
I'm
it
learning.
for 10 fucking years.
I
This
get
really
it.
helps.
Now, Toby Ball is not here, and filling in is Ronald Young Jr. So, Ronald, can you tell us what are our listener-inspired deep cut recommendations?
Okay, I am ready for this. I've been ready this whole time. I knew this was coming, so I was prepared for it. And
Yeah, you
I
are.
don't have to look at anything. I'm not pulling up an email or anything like that right now. This is off the top of my head that I am
Yes.
now going to recite.
Not stalling.
I'm not
stalling at all.
even a little bit. Okay, here are my 2 recommendations. The first is the Aujuxix. 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 You can decide how to pronounce that. Shower hair catcher, drain strainer / drain hair catcher shower cover for bathroom floor drain, stainless steel and silicone, 4-inch black. That's my first recommendation.
All right, that's a good one.
Would you
Good
like to hear
one.
my second one? I have one.
Wait,
even
I just
better.
want to say, I think we might need that because my hair is a big drain clogger, is it not, Kevin?
It is. Ronald doesn't have that problem.
Oh.
That's
hey,
I don't
now.
like that. I have
Unless
beard
it's the
hair,
beard.
So what you're
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Oh,
long.
okay.
So how dare you? All right. I don't like the way you're saying things. The way you're phrasing it is making me uncomfortable, Kevin. You'll see if I ever come back to Crime Writers on. Here's my second recommendation, only for Laura and Rebecca. Kevin, you're out.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
the
Okay.
Foind Tower, Foind, Foind Tower, set of 2 decorative linen fringe throw pillow covers, cozy boho farmhouse cushion cover with tassels, soft accent pillow case for couch chair.
Wow.
Anybody in
For
the
a
market
couch
for
chair.
some pillowcases for a couch chair?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's not really linen season. Just gonna throw it out there.
I
maybe they're
understand.
waiting. Maybe they got it for next Memorial Day.
We love it. Just to make sure as you're doing your Christmas shopping, you shop us first when you go to Amazon, amazon.com/shop/Crime Writers on. We earn commissions on qualified purchases.
That's right. And even if you're not averse to Amazon, shop ours anyway because it helps us out a little bit. All right, Kevin, do we have any Patreon patron saints of the week this week?
Our Patreon patron saints are Elizabeth Restott and Paula Marana. Bless you.
Elizabeth and Paola, thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. We can't make the show without folks just like you. Kevin, does thus end our business section?
Thus ends the business section.
I'm going to fade that music out. So, Kevin, who's our next sponsor?
Hey, we're brought to you by Aura Frames.
Ooh.
Do you have a really bad gift-giving story?
Do I? I
Yeah.
have so many. I have too many.
Pick one.
That time that I got a robe for Christmas from 4 different people. So that's a gift-getting story. I got 4 robes one Christmas. 4.
How about the time that I gave my mother that gift certificate to her favorite restaurant, only to find out that that restaurant closed?
Oh.
So they made off with the last $50 from me. But this gift-giving season, I'm able to redeem myself, and so can you, with Aura Frames. With Aura Frames, you can share photos and videos effortlessly straight from your phone all year round. It goes to their beautiful digital frame. You can put it wherever you like. We got ours in our kitchen.
It's so great. It's so great. You see pictures from our entire lives, like just in that frame. It's incredible.
Yeah, you get unlimited free photos and videos with the Aura app. Just connect to Wi-Fi. Like they say, you can't wrap togetherness, Rebecca, but you can frame it.
For a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code CRIMEWRITERS at checkout. That's AURAFrames.com, promo code CRIMEWRITERS.
Crime Writers.
This exclusive Black Friday Cyber Monday deal is their best of the year, so order now before it ends. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Kevin?
Yes.
Who is the next sponsor for this show?
Oh, we're brought to you by our friends at Rula.
Rula?
Yeah, telehealth has made mental health care accessible for millions of people, but finding a suitable therapist, scheduling appointments, and expensive out-of-pocket costs can still feel like a huge barrier. Thankfully, Rula has you covered. Now, this is, a special time of the year for some folks, but other times it brings up sadness and other feelings of conflict,
dread,
and happiness too. Candy canes, but it's not always candy canes. And sometimes you really want to find someone that you can talk that out with. And while sometimes it might be your sister, she might be the problem at the dinner table. That wouldn't work. So let Rula help you out. Rula partners with a network of over 15,000 therapists and psychiatrists, enabling you to find the right therapist for your needs and preferences. And get this, the average copay is as little as $15 a session. So simply answer a few questions and get started as soon as the next day.
Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. Head over to rula.com/CWO to get started today. After you sign up and they ask where you heard about them, please tell them our show sent you. Go to rula.com/CWO and take the first step toward better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares.
A massage chair might seem a bit extravagant, especially these days. 8 different settings, adjustable intensity, plus it's heated, and it just feels so good. Yes, a massage chair might seem a bit extravagant, but when it can come with a car, suddenly it seems quite practical. The Volkswagen Tiguan, packed with premium features like available massaging front seats, it only feels extravagant.
All right, so Ronald, I have a question for you.
Yes.
First of all, I kind of like it personally that Brittany Snow is having a moment because I watched her husband cheat on her on Selling the OC, and then she had to divorce him because she had to watch her husband cheat on her on television. So I've been like rooting for her ever since then, and now she's been in The Hunting Wives, which was really successful and not great, and now she's in this. But there is this weird dynamic, Ronald, where Nile, who we know is a maniac, and I guess was kind of mean to his first wife, is super nice to her. And I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah. First of all, I thought their chemistry for the show was very good. Or better yet, not chemistry. Their dynamic on the show, I thought was very good. But I don't know if I got enough information from beginning to end about her and him. And they dump a lot on us in episode 7, which I think was enough for what happens in episode 8 between her, for her to like kind of betray him, if you will. I think that kind of made sense. Maybe there could have been more, but also I feel like there was a part of the show, if you're going to do this in 8 episodes, then I'm curious as to why she needed to be married to him or what story that's telling about their relationship. It was fine, I would say. It served a utility for the show, but I don't know that I'm completely sold. I'll say that.
I agree. And Laura, there were some weird scenes, like when he's talking to Claire Danes on the phone, she's standing there looking sort of menacing. And then they go for a walk and it seems like she's gathering information, but she's just a person, right?
Right. To me, she was an interesting character because I was like, how oblivious is she or isn't she to what he really is? What does she actually know about what's going on or what has happened? And I think she plays that role in a way that kind of leaves you wondering about all of that until the end where she flips. And then that was, again, like pretty obvious. I was like, hello, I do that trick all the time with my phone. I so I know what's going on now. But I would have liked to know a little bit more about how it was that they got together after the wife died.
Yeah. I always have that question when we're watching Law and Order SVU and there's like a grieving, ugly man and then you see his like beautiful dead wife and I'm like, how did they meet? What happened there?
Money.
Yeah. So Kevin, Ronald mentioned this before. There is incredible chemistry between Matthew Rhys and Claire Danes and it feels sexual and not sexual at the same time because she's very intrigued by his badness, but it's definitely, and then they're up all night like drinking and stuff, but there's no hint at all that she's gonna like turn straight for Matthew Rhys, right?
Well, that's it. I mean, I think that the writers intentionally, I mean, for other reasons, made Aggie's character a lesbian. I think it was intentionally a clever way to eliminate the usual sexual tension applied with male-female characters in this way. It's almost cliche, right? If she were straight, at some point they would kiss and fall into bed, and it makes all that stuff. And they've kind of eliminated that so that you're just focused on this part of their relationship. So it's an audience distraction.
And there's no part of you wants to fuck me. Even just a teeny tiny little bit.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying, our thing is weird, right? I mean, look at us. Middle of the night, my wife doesn't know where I am. It's a little bit sexy.
Now you're going to tell me I just haven't found the right penis.
Nile cannot seduce her in that conventional way. So it's far more fascinating to see him seduce her psychologically, right? And get into her head that way. And it makes it for a richer experience. And, and I think sometimes it ends up being kind of a cheap thing where instead of like waiting for that buildup, right, it makes the whole thing like him dancing to Psycho Killer, by the talking heads, right? If this is like part of a mating dance, like that ends up being different, right? And so it just makes for a really interesting, it makes for, I think, a much different relationship if she had been married to a man and they split up after the death of their son. I think that way we're just looking at the two of them as individual characters having this kind of surface conflict.
Right. Well, and I think it's sort of like he's getting off on bringing out the dark side in her, the beast in her that I think he sees there. And she's getting off on getting the access to him. So they're feeding off of each other. She's getting the access for her book so that she can get this information so she can have her big comeback. So there's something within each of them that benefits the other, but that dynamic between the two of them as they're interacting and as that's playing out, that's when you see her personality start to come alive in a much more energetic way because she's feeding off of that she's getting from him, if that makes sense.
Well, she's full of rage and he likes it. And one of the things I was thinking about Ronald is like, I think Claire Danes' character is super fucking interesting. And I think she's interesting because you get all these hints that maybe it's not just the accident that made her hard to live with and her post-accident rage. And one of my favorite dynamics of the show is that the house is turning against her. And the house that she bought with her first book money, that was probably a mistake. And it's like falling apart. How aware are you, by the way, when someone tells you on a show that a house smells like sewage? How aware are you of that the entire time?
Yes.
They're in that house. So what do you think about the way she's drawn in particular?
One, I think she is portrayed by a master. Again, I can't say enough about Claire Danes' portrayal of her. There's a lot of subtlety. And I think one of the best journeys that she goes on is when she gets to the point where she realized that she could be equally responsible for the death of her son. When she has that realization, every choice that she made acting wise and every characterization falls right into place. in terms of the self-sabotage, the ways in which this would have broke down the relationship with her and her wife, the ways in which she would have been so angry at Teddy Finnig and wanting that pound of flesh because she's actually upset with herself more than she's actually upset with Teddy Finnig. Like, all of the characterization of her is done, I think, very, very well, with the exception of one thing. And the one thing I don't like is that there is a turn in which she realizes that she thinks that Nile Jarvis killed Teddy Finnig. And in the same breath, she's like, I should write my book about Nile Jarvis. And she's also working with the FBI. And I felt like that was muddled. I felt like there could have been a way in which she decided to write about Nile Jarvis, later on begins to realize that he probably killed Teddy Finnig, and then is drawn deeper into conflict in herself. This was the only thing that I think was botched. And I think it was because they kidnapped Teddy Finnig so early in the series that it had to be addressed that she now had a relationship with the FBI and so on and so forth. But there was a natural way for this to happen that I think didn't quite happen. But other than that, great characterization.
I completely agree with you. And I think that, like, part of that storyline was not necessary. Part of it, made sense, and part of it was not necessary. But, like, the one storyline that I thought was completely unnecessary, I did love, by the way, his, like, weird-ass Succession family and his, like, weird-ass uncle and his weird-ass dad.
Yes.
But I did not think that Exactly. I did not think the real estate storyline was necessary. Laura Bricker, what do you think of that? Because there is this conflict that's built because he's trying to build this, like, Hudson Yards type building. We have our, AOC knockoff city assembly person trying to like bring it down. And by the way, I didn't say that because they actually do make, like, references that really made me feel like they were painting this character after, like, AOC.
Yeah, I felt the same thing.
So what do you think about that storyline? Do you think it worked?
It kind of just fell flat for me. I don't feel like it was necessary to advance the story that really is at the heart of this, which is this dynamic between Matthew Rhys and Claire Danes. And they threw this in there, and it was kind of there, and you're like, okay, that's interesting. And I think really the only reason it was there was so that at the end, they could wrap it up with a neat and tidy bow when they expose him at the press conference, when they know, the press is going to be there to take his picture as he's arrested. And his wife and Claire Danes happened to also be there. So I think that was really the only reason that this storyline got put in there.
Well, if I hated anything, it was sort of the way they wrap up the mystery part of it, because it goes from, like, we end 6 on this huge cliffhanger where we've seen that he's moved Teddy's body to the house and, like, the cops are coming. We do the flashback episode. Then when we get to episode 8, it's like she's in the woods fucking around with her SIM card and somehow on foot manages to get from Oyster Bay to the Manhattan Gallery where she can sneak in, and just so that she can have one little conversation with Nina before she turns herself in, because she really needs to do that whole fucking thing. I thought was, like, not realistic. It was incoherent for me. I don't know why that would happen. And then she gets dragged off to jail, but she gets sprung just in time so that she could be there when the cops just wait for him to finish the press conference, as opposed to grabbing him then and walking him out. That was all muddled, and I didn't like that. As far as the very end where, like, she goes back and sees him in prison and they try to wrap up some shit. Okay, great. Like, that's kind of what you want. But that whole thing, I'm just like, she's sleeping in a greenhouse, like, for fuck's sake. It's like, I got to call the FBI agent because I already got her in my contacts.
That bothered me.
And they just happen to have a fucking iPhone charger in this random greenhouse. Oh, if I open this drawer, there's an iPhone charger in here?
That actually wasn't that far-fetched to me.
Yeah, I have them everywhere.
We've gone through a lot of, like, I have a drawer down here with a lot of chargers in it.
Exactly. I buy bricks by the dozen.
Is weird. Yes.
Exactly.
Well, you can get 2 days out of it if it's a new phone.
Yeah, but, I think that is a flaw, because then you have to bring in the stupid hacker thing where she kidnaps him for no reason.
What the fuck? What is the business model for this hacker that, like, you can only, like, get there by getting, like, gooned like a Central American drug cartel? Put the bag on your head and then find her. It's like, oh yeah, okay, now I'll do this shit for you. It's like, what's with the cloak and dagger?
No real reason for that, especially not from the FBI. Like, what are we talking about here?
And I got to manhandle you to get in the. It's like, no, we're going to do it secretly. We're going to grab you with your bleeding leg, and
I have another question.
And you can't go anywhere. You got to piss in that bottle while I'm downloading all your files.
How in 2025 do you bring 2 giant elephants to a house in Oyster Bay? Were they like on the LIE, like with a big, like old ass, like
there a circus
Barnum
there?
and Bailey truck? Like,
I think that only existed to show like the opulent wealth, like reckless wealth that they had.
and the colonial whiteness of them as well.
100%.
Safari.
But also, it's quite literally the elephant in the room. There's a lot, I mean, it's CGI. That's probably how they, did it at the actual party.
Yeah.
But there's, like you said, I mean, there's a lot of little great symbolism, like the house, the sewage backing up,
so
and the elephant in the room, which
the
is
kids fighting, the little kids fighting, and the dad egging them on.
I didn't like that
two
either.
dogs.
That really bothered me. When he punched his brother in the face like that, I'm like, I've been in a sibling fight, and I've been in some pretty tough sibling fights. That is a punch of malice to and to be a father sitting there letting that happen. And I know
raising
it's
monsters.
character development. Yes,
Yes.
you're making little monsters. What are we talking about here?
Well, also for $20, you can move to the front of the car crushing line if you need to get rid of a body.
That's
I
right.
thought
Use
that
you
was
can
a
use.
C note, but
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
It looked like $1 to me. I was like, that's not enough money, whatever it was.
I need to get to the front so I can watch the goo come out of the back of the
The person juice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
ew.
this where you smash bodies?
This is
was everyone smashing bodies in this line? Because they were just like, whatever, man, put them in front. Like, come on, man.
Smashing bodies and shipping them away.
Yeah. I mean, if I work there and somebody starts flashing money, I'm like, oh shit, there's something in this car.
But I'll take the money, but I'm also calling the cops.
That's right. That's right. Pocket that C note.
Hey, everybody, it's Rob Lowe here. If you haven't heard, I have a podcast that's called Literally with Rob Lowe. And basically, it's conversations I've had that really make you feel like you're pulling up a chair at an intimate dinner between myself and people that I admire, like Aaron Sorkin or Tiffany Haddish, Demi Moore, Chris Pratt, Michael J. Fox. There are new episodes out every Thursday. So subscribe, please, and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
A massage chair might seem a bit extravagant, especially these days. 8 different settings, adjustable intensity, plus it's heated, and it just feels so good. Yes, a massage chair might seem a bit extravagant, but when it can come with a car, suddenly it seems quite practical. The Volkswagen Tiguan, packed with premium features like available massaging front seats. It only feels extravagant.
'Tis the season of gifting and halls to deck, and the Who's and Who Newville were in love with new tech. Where can we find Sonos and Samsung and Nintendo, they shouted. Would they find it in one place? This they questioned and doubted. When suddenly a Who yelled, Walmart's the place to start! And each Who added headphones, TVs, and games to their carts. With Walmart, their shopping was done in a flurry. They cried out, who knew? And ordered their gifts in a hurry. Shop the latest tech gifts in the Walmart app.
Planning a trip this year? Travel smarter and connect deeper by learning the local language with Rosetta Stone. With over 30 years of experience, Rosetta Stone's immersive, intuitive method helps you live the language, not just memorize it. Choose from over 25 languages, including Spanish, French, Japanese, and more. Their true accent speech recognition technology gives real-time feedback to help perfect your pronunciation. No translations, just natural learning that builds from words to phrases to full conversations. Whether you have 5 minutes or an hour, you can learn anytime on desktop or mobile. Get a lifetime membership and unlock all 25 languages. Learn as much as you want, whenever you want. Rosetta Stone. Learn confidently. Connect authentically. Don't wait. Unlock your language learning potential now. Listeners can grab Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. That's unlimited access to 25 language courses for life. Visit rosettastone.com/pod50 to get started and claim your 50% off today. Don't miss out. Go to rosettastone.com/pod50 and start learning today.
All right, let's do what we do. Let's let our listeners know, should they check out The Beast in Me? It's a series on Netflix starring the magnificent Claire Danes and the magnificent Matthew Rhys. Laura Bricker, thumbs up or thumbs down for The Beast in Me?
So I'm going to go thumbs up on this. And I think the reason I'm doing this, Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys in this are just so fantastic together that there are some issues with the plot and the story and how it plays out. I'm going to say you will never look at a rotisserie chicken the same way again after watching this show. I think that these actors just brought to the characters just a level of malice, evil, loneliness, and the chemistry between the two of them as they were learning about each other as this mystery is unfolding was really interesting. There was some side characters that I didn't love as much, but that doesn't matter because we had Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys. And there were some scenes also that were highly disturbing to me. Sound effects when people are being killed aren't my thing. There was a couple scenes like that where I was like, oh, so if that's something that's going to disturb you, just heads up. But overall, I think this was a fun, bingeable watch. I watched it very quickly and thumbs up.
Kevin Flynn.
Yeah, this is a tour de force of high tension. It's like really well suited for some good level actors like Claire Danes and for Matthew Rhys. I mean, they just totally make this a completely watchable, and just the tension between them, the way that this show is built, it's kind of breathless in that way. And so just like fantastic performances. In the end, like the mystery, the plot, like there's some things here that just don't work for me, but it's still not fatal enough that I'd say you can't watch this or just watch it, even though I'd say these are really great performances here and, a good mystery. So for me, I'm a thumbs up for The Beast in Me.
Ronald Young Jr.
Okay, so there's a movie called Resident Evil. I don't know if you've heard of it. Tell me kidding. No, I give it a thumbs up. I would say maybe a thumb. It's not quite sideways, but like whatever's between sideways
mild
and up.
thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, okay, Thank you. I give it a mild thumbs up. I enjoyed it. I felt like I got tired of it after a while, and I did binge watch this. So I feel like the first half, I was with it. The second half, I started to see more of the shagginess of it, did not appreciate it as much in the back half. And I think there's a bit of a cop-out at the end, which also kind of bothers me in the ways that they tie this up. But that being said, for it to be a Netflix show, something that is available on a platform that you probably already have, to be able to turn this on and have something to watch with a hot plate of food in front of you and with your partner sitting next to you, or your dog, or no partner, or your adult kids, any of that, I think this is a good something to hit play on, but not my favorite, I would say. So mild thumbs up.
Yeah, this is a thumbs up for me. I mean, this falls squarely into the category of I wanted to watch it more, even though it was imperfect. So that's why it's thumbs up. It's something that's entertaining. Even I can overlook the imperfections. I think, and Ronald has said this on the show before, I think there should be an Oscars for television, not just an Emmy Awards.
Agreed.
Because I have believed for a long time the best actors are working on television. Period.
Yes.
Period. I'm sure Matthew Rhys and Claire Danes, they both have been in movies, whatever, but like they can really work on this medium and they just fill the screen with their presence. And, I think about like Kerry Russell and The Diplomat, and like all these people, by the way, are going to be competing at the Emmys for like the limited series Emmys. And I'm sure Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys are going to be nominated. Like there's no way they won't be nominated. There's one scene in particular with the two of them together. There's two scenes in there, but the two of them together. Both times I'm like, this is the Emmy reel scene. Like, this is it. And they have my vote right now. So I really was entertained despite its imperfections. I will spoil the fact that no dogs are harmed in the in the watching of this. So if that scares you.
Steve piddles on the floor because she's not
scares
home
you,
a lot.
If you're worried about that when it starts, because there is like a menacing dog scene, you can rest assured no dogs are harmed significantly in this story. Yeah, so it's a thumbs up for me for The Beast in Me. All right, that's going to do it for us. But before we go, Laura Bricker, do we have a cat of the week this week?
We do have a cat of the week. It's a personal cat of the week from me this week. My little girl Zelda, my little feral kitty, had her final farewell last week.
Aww.
And, she was the cat that I was not going to adopt. Some of the longtime listeners may remember when we had Stampy.
Mm-hmm.
Stampy was the cat that ate the lily petal and died, and also had chlamydia at one point in his
Yikes.
eye, which is a thing. But
Stampy was a whore. Stampy was a super whore.
Yeah. So we went to go get Stampy.
This is not a slut shaming show.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. It's okay, Stampy.
I didn't say you was a
honestly.
slut.
We went to my son Will was in second grade. We went to my friend Betsy, who rescues feral cats, and she said, "Oh, you need this orange boy." And we're like, "Okay." And we were getting ready to leave, and she goes, "Well, here's these other ones that I just pulled out from under this trailer park out in Farmington." And she had like letter names for each litter of cats. So these were the Z's. And so she's like, "It's Zelda and Zimmerman." And she's like, "And Zimmerman's pretty wild. We're just going to trap, neuter, release. But this Zelda's really sweet." And she was a little older. And she said she's very sweet because she's letting all the other little kittens nurse on her, even though she's not a mommy cat in the shelter. And I was like, "That's it. We're taking her home." So she tolerated us. She was always pretty feral. She didn't really want to hang out and be a cuddle cat. And in the last 6 months of her life, she broke through a screen, went out and started killing and eating everything in my neighborhood and lived her best life. And she was eating little tiny soups and tuna dinners 20 minutes before her final farewell.
Good on her.
Yeah, good old Zelda. She had a fire candlelit dinner and very sad, but she had quite a life.
I just want to say props to you, Laura, because you went to go pick up a kitten and you got like the cutest, best one. And then the lady was like, "Do you also kind of want this sucky one too?" And you were like, "Yes, I will take that one too." Like, that's how big your heart is. And I really love that about you. So thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
R.I.P. Zelda. All right, Laura Bricker, if folks want to reach out to you online and say hi or submit their animals to be Pet of the Week, which of course they can do on our Facebook group, etc., how can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Laura Bricker on Instagram and Blue Sky. And I will share on Instagram, there is a great cat story at our local vet clinic that brought these cats up from Tennessee that has just been featured on The Dodo. So you can also send me all your ideas, though, as well.
All right, Ronald Young Jr., final plugs and social media, please.
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or the other one. What's the other one? I keep forgetting Letterboxd. At It's Big Rod. That's at OHITSBIGRON. And if you're in the DC area, you should follow my Instagram because I'm doing a live show in February called Heartbreaker that I'm very, very excited about. I will be talking about my last 3 relationships and my outlook on love now based on the expectations I had growing up as a child. I'm very excited. I'm pulling that show together now. I think it is going to be my next big thing, and I would love for you to come be a part of it. That's February 21st, 2026. You should come down. And if anyone listening on this podcast is coming, let me know so I can give you a discount code and or a free ticket. All right, this has been Ronald. Holler at me.
Can you get us some tickets? Because I want to go.
Yeah, I was talking to the 3 of you specifically.
Okay, good. There's an American flight directly from Manchester to DCA that we could hop on.
We got to sell every seat, so please come.
Exactly. What about you, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm at Kevin P. Flynn. I got nothing.
You host a great show called These Are Their Stories.
Yeah, These Are Their Stories. Ronald jumps on. Go back through our feed and find the several episodes we had with Ronald, including the one that Rebecca submitted from this year for the Podcast Emmy Awards.
I did.
The Ambies.
I did.
Which one?
These Are Their Stories. The one
the
you
one
were just
that we
on.
did, where we talked about the one where Munch and Finn have their sleepover and go to Canada.
Yo, if we get nominated, I'll come up.
All right.
Oh, as a matter of fact, February 20th, you should, okay, so this is going to be complicated for y'all, but February 21st is the Heartbreaker. The Ambies are on February 23rd in New York. So we can go back.
We could be on a
together.
tour.
Yeah, we could do it.
We could get a bus.
Yeah.
We could get a van.
We'll take the train.
No, that thing's expensive. Let's just fly.
Have a road trip.
All right. You can find me everywhere at Reb Lavoie, and I will leave it there. Get episodes early and ad-free and everything else we make at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia. Our theme song was composed and performed by Tyler Gibbons, and our editor is the wonderful Livy Burdett. You might hear her name also in the credits of Marketplace. The EP of this show is Kevin Flynn. This show was recorded in the Caitlin Rogers Project Studio, also known as Studio C, the closet in our New Hampshire basement, where we also have a dog named Steve.
Come here, Steve.
On behalf of all the crime writers, thanks so much for listening. We will catch you later.
Welcome back. Wait.
Put her things on so she
Hold
can.
on. And
She called.
and welcome back.
Welcome. And we're back.
I was putting another log on the fire.
No, I love it. I love that that's not a euphemism, even though it sounds like it. Right?
Exactly.
No,
Like,
it's
smash
cold
that
as-
button.
I'm trying to stay cozy in my
Yeah.
little condo, my cat condo here.
Yeah.
Partners in Crime Media.
Hey there, it's Katie Nolan, host of Casuals, the sports podcast where we don't care how much you know about sports, we're just happy that you're here. Every week, I hang out with some of my good friends to discuss the biggest stories across sports and entertainment, but in a way that's like fun and not boring. Want to know Sue Bird's favorite Diana Taurasi story? Or how heavy the Larry O'Brien trophy is? Or even what baseball team is right for you based on your moon sign? We got you. Listen to Casuals every Tuesday and Thursday on the SiriusXM app or wherever you get your podcasts. Bye!
A massage chair might seem a bit extravagant, especially these days. 8 different settings, adjustable intensity, plus it's heated, and it just feels so good. Yes, a massage chair might seem a bit extravagant, but when it can come with a car, suddenly it seems quite practical. The Volkswagen Tiguan, packed with premium features like available massaging front seats, it only feels extravagant.
Black Friday? More like Black Friday, yay! Shop the DSW Black Friday sale and take 30% off almost all the shoes, accessories, and giftable goodies we've got at DSW.com. Plus 30% off just about every regular price item at your DSW store. Score shoes that get you and everyone on your list at prices that get your budget. So carpe the deal. Head to Designer Shoe Warehouse and get that gift list done. DSW, let us surprise you.